We're on live.
We're on live.
Live here, Falcon Field.
Friends, you're looking live at Falcon Field.
That sounded like a Jim Nance Masters call, Mont.
Starting it off, we're 1 week away from Masters Week.
Speaking of, you going down?
I am not going down, not as of yet, but I'll leave my calendar clear just in case I get the invite. And I am not ashamed for the last-minute invite to the Masters.
Not much hesitation in the answer, is there?
Not at all. I will be your 12th invite if that's what it takes.
You're open to Monday through Sunday? No discriminatory days?
I will take any day at Augusta. We got a friend who is in a drawing tonight for a ticket to Burtman's Place. For Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
3 friends, 1 ticket, 1 drawing.
1 winner.
1 winner.
It's a 33% chance to win, huh? Great night here. What are we? Sitting on about 72 degrees-ish. You're taking the pullover off. It must be warm, right?
Yeah, that's a little sticky up here. I think we're about 72, 73. No wind. Sun in our face.
Belle Lafitte coming in hot right here.
Belle Lafitte coming in live. We got an injury. Charlie Bell's coming off of a volleyball victory this weekend.
Okay. Good job, Belle.
It was fun. Can you show Charlie what you did after a nice play the other day? Had a celebration.
Show our audience here. We're live, but not playing yet.
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of head baseball coach Andy Hallett and athletic director Michelle Yater, we'd like to welcome you to Falcon Field, home of your AC Flora Falcons. Tonight's matchup pits our guests, the South Pointe Stallions, against your
superb IT department going back here behind us. Jeff's in Mount Pleasant at the lacrosse match at Oceanside. Is that correct?
Stand, remove your hats as we honor America.
Yep, we'll do the anthem here and go silent.
Yep.
Took the hat off. The sun was a little.
It is bright. During the national anthem, all I could see were the black jerseys. What do you think about all black for the baseball?
You know, it's kind of one of those things. I think if you're playing really well and you're having a good year, it's kind of a good look.
Number 18, Charlie Scott.
If you're struggling to win games, it's kind of one of those, why are we wearing this too, you know? I think it kind of borders, it's kind of a teetering line there of which way it looks good.
You got to wear them early. You can't wear them late April, early May.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Of course, we're wearing our digital camo this year, the new jersey we added to the rotation. Mont, we set the stage here. Coach Hallett with a win tonight will have 600 career wins in 28 plus years at this point in time.
Every one of those wins, coaching the AC Flora Falcons, that's impressive.
That's correct. Came over here, I believe, in 1998, his first season. Assistant for Ritzel Northeast, which I think we covered last time we were on air.
You know, his story to get down to South Carolina is pretty interesting. He played in upstate New York.
Yep.
Was a pitcher in college. Wanted to pursue a master's degree. Had a coach that was a Coastal Carolina alum. Convinced him to come to South Carolina.
We giving the bat boy Jones Tuttle a shout out. Jones is on our Wolves PBL team.
There we go.
Jones has had some legendary rundowns this year for our team. And
where does Jones play?
Jones plays a lot of outfield for us, but he's going to fill in the infield when we are down some guys or some guys come in to pitch. He's kind of one of those kids that just kind of, he does about anything you need him to do, is always smiling, and, you know, just a great kid. And he's come up with some big hits for the team this year.
Sounds like a glue guy to me.
You were talking about Coach Hallett. I believe his family up in upstate New York, Oswego, is where he went to college. I think they're all online tonight watching live. I'm sure it's a little bit cooler up there than it is down here today with us, but we want to say hello to them, and I look forward to seeing them. They usually make one trip a year to come down south to watch a little baseball, so hopefully they'll be down soon and can enjoy this one tonight, and hopefully we can take care of the 600.
Leading off for South Pointe, number 17, Ben Lee.
Charlie, what do you know about South Pointe coming into the game tonight?
Don't know a whole lot overall. I think they've got either 9-2 or 10-2. I think you had 9-2. I thought I saw 10-2. They got a win last night against Great Falls. Of course, they lost 2 region games last week to York, but Coach Sheldon Brown, former Gamecock, has got them playing very well this year.
Sheldon was a 2nd-round pick in the NFL draft. Not everybody knows this, but he also played one baseball season for Ray Tanner in the Gamecocks.
He did. From, you know what high school he's from?
Louisville.
There you go. Louisville Lion, Sheldon Brown. Son Dion's a Clemson Tiger right now.
Trivia question: what town is Louisville High School located in?
It's Richburg, South Carolina, in the
heart
of Chester.
That's right.
Heart of Chester County.
Louisville feels like a town, a city, but it's a high school.
Good pitch by Tyler there on a strikeout. That's kind of what that bat right there. He kind of came right at him with 3 fastballs and then just put him away, no wasting.
Wow.
That's good. Charlie, you want to set the infield for us?
Up next for the South.
We got Jack Chetwood at third base, Joe Ray at shortstop, Roper Winsky at second base, and that's young Monty Lafitte at first base. The 4th, right? Monty the 4th?
That's right, sure is.
How about that?
There was a time where all 4 Lafittes were on this earth together.
How about that?
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Across the outfield, we've got Charlie Scott anchor in center field. Good pitch by Tyler. It's Logan Price in left field, and is that Henry Shockerman right?
Like Henry Shockerman right.
Sure does.
You mentioned Charlie Scott. How about the player of the week?
Well, good pitch. Boy, he had a big week last week, didn't he? Gosh. He was 5 feet from a third homer on Saturday. Jim Stevens up there on the, he hit a button on air. Thinking he thought it was strike 3, Mott.
Yeah. He got me excited.
Little check swing, ground ball there. A 2-2 count here. I'm going to guess, knowing Coach Hallett for all these years, I'm going to guess he's going to come at him with a fastball here and make this hitter beat him with his best stuff.
Go right at him?
That's what I'm going to guess. If Tyler executes the pitch, he may go fastball in. Yep, it looks like that's what we're getting ready to do. Check swing. Did he go?
Yes, he did.
I thought he did.
Number 2.
Boy, Tyler missed that spot by about 2 feet, but he got away with it. And
now batting for South Pointe, number 5, Tyler Hood.
So hard for pitchers to stick that ball in, especially young pitchers.
Do you notice Tyler throw a 2-seam or a 4-seam fastball?
I think he throws a lot of 4 seams. Might mix in some 2 seams here and there. It looks to me like it's a 4-seam. Of course, I could be wrong. My eyes aren't as good as they were a few years back, but
that ball seems to run in on the righties a little bit.
It's a little bit heavy at times.
Good curveball.
Breaking ball is really good tonight. That's the pitch, you know, last week against Camden he wasn't as sharp with. He found some good breaking balls at times when he needed to find them, but he wasn't as sharp with that pitch, and he's ahead 0-2 here. He missed his spot off the plate. Not a bad miss. Big start right here to get a 1-2-3 and come in and see if we can put a crooked number up. Good pitch.
Good pitch. Attaboy.
Seems to have that pitch working, and we get through the top of the first. All right, Mont, let's start off with a little trivia here. Coach Hallett in his time, of course, 599 is what he's sitting on. 7 state championships. How many of those 7 have been won on this field? This is not a trick question, but it's kind of one of those. I never would have known that.
You know, it's
bonus points if you can pick the year.
And now the starting lineups for South Pointe.
I'm going to say 4, Charlie. I know 21 was at James Island.
Yep.
Catcher number 5, Tyler Hood. First baseman number 20, McClure. Designated hitter.
We're getting some background music between innings.
Left fielder number 10, Andrew Thomas.
So going back to the trivia question, I'm going to work backwards. 21, we won at James Island. 17 and 14, I think, were won at Falcon Field. 13 on the road, 12 at Falcon Field, 07-01 on the road. How'd I do?
Oh, you're off. You're off. So 2001, they won in the only Game 3 they've played in, which was at Newberry College. They beat Travelers Rest. Coach Hallett's first state championship. They lost Game 1 here. Had to go on the road and win, and came back to the neutral site. 2007, won Game 1 here and go to Hilton Head to win Game 2 to win the series. 2012, won Game 1 here and won about a 5-hour game at Fort Mill due to about a 2-hour weather delay where they were up 11 runs after 3 innings. 2013, won Game 1 here against Airport in I think 11 or 12 innings after they came back from a 9-1 deficit through 5. Won Game 2 and 10 runs at Airport. 2014, won Game 1 at Hartsville, won Game 2 here for the only state championship won on Falcon Field. 2017, of course, did not win it here. Do you know who they beat in 2017? This is a fastball middle 3-2 count pitch for you right here. This should be, I can't miss this pitch.
I was here. I believe Donald Gillespie hit one out, if I'm not mistaken.
In Game 1. Now, they won 17 on the road, but where did they play and who did they beat? This is, I'm giving you a layup here.
Hartsville?
No.
East Side.
No.
We've had some great battles with East Side over the years.
They have. It's just kind of a trick question, and most people wouldn't get it, but they played and beat the South Pointe Stallions for 2017 state championship at South Pointe, and South Pointe's only state championship appearance in baseball. Then, of course, 21, you nailed it. They won it at James Island after winning Game 1 here.
I think Davis Rivers went the distance in Game 2. I think it was 10 or 12 to nothing. Shutout for Davis.
So I was here in 14 when, of course, the athletic director, when they won the whole thing here, and it was kind of a big deal. It was a Saturday afternoon, and it was one of those things, you know, Coach Hallett had won 4 to that point with a chance to win his 5th, of course, his 3rd in a row, and it was going to be the first one ever on Falcon Field. So that was a big day.
Charlie, how many teams have won 3 in a row? 12, 13, and 14 in the state of South Carolina.
That's I know Bishop England has won. They won 3 in a row. Probably the most recently, back in 4A, 3A, 3A-ish. Of course, there was a run there where Bamberg Earhart won about, I think, 10 out of 11 at one point in time. Charlie hit that ball to center field there. Didn't hit it as well as he wanted to, but he hit it. First pitch, swinging. And I heard Roper's walk-up song in Publix the other day when I was there. The wish for Falcon Field.
What's the background on the walk-up?
I don't know that. I don't ask those questions. Pretty good crowd here tonight, Mont.
Could feel a little energy in the building.
South Pointe in on the corners. It's like a breaking ball. Maybe a changeup. I think it was a breaking ball across the plate there.
All right.
Corner's going to back up now. Showed bunt first pitch, Mont. They moved in. We really need to get off to a good start. And that's not it.
Looked like that one came in around the numbers.
For the Birds, number 12, Dylan Hernandez.
All right, let's see if Dylan can get something going for us here.
Dylan's been swinging the bat well the last few weeks. Got big Oss back here behind us. It's like we're having trouble picking that breaking ball up.
I don't know if it's the sun.
Wouldn't think it's the sun, but
dusk, twilight action right here. This is a big, tall kid on the mound. It looks like he's working downhill pretty good. Low and away.
wasn't a bad 1-0 pitch right there. Dylan should be looking for a ball he can hit hard right here in the middle of the field. Oh, that
Let's
ball's
see
gone.
if that travels a little bit.
That ball's gone. You can hear it.
That a boy.
Put it back. Got a breaking ball right there. Hung up there a little bit.
You nailed it, Charlie. 2-0 count, looking for something to drive.
Home run number 12, Dylan Hernandez.
And the Birds celebrate. He's fired up.
That was a really good swing on that breaking ball right there by Dylan. Dylan's been swinging the bat really well. You know, the last week, I think he's got, what, 4 or 5 hits? I mean, he absolutely scalded some balls here against Camden and at Camden.
Yeah.
And in the weeks ahead of that, Mont, he hit some balls hard. He just was hitting balls almost right at people, and it just some frustrating luck for him. But he's been swinging it real well. And, of course, here's his older brother, Tyler.
Well, how about this? I just looked over. I see grandfather Hernandez, Mr. Hernandez, on top of the dugout doing a little dance. How cool is it to see his grandson hit one out?
Yeah.
That was great.
His youngest grandson, right? On Williams' side.
That's right. That's right.
Look over there. I see a couple.
I wonder if Tyler can let him see one as well.
I'd like to see Tyler hit one the other way to right field right here. Get all over one. That ball got in on him a little bit. You know, the thing about Tyler is he's very comfortable hitting with 2 strikes.
It's a
Pulled
hard
that
hit
ball
ball
right at the short second baseman. It's an outside pitch. He came around it, but we'll take the base runner for explosive.
Yep.
Explosive
Now
here.
batting for the Falcons, number 32,
Former Falcon. Jared Altus played on that 2001 state championship, played on the 03 runner-up and the 04 lower state finalist.
Okay.
Baseball team. He's a teammate of Spencer Derrick. Of course, you know of Spencer Derrick, son of Ray Derrick, who coached here in 01 as an assistant coach and was an assistant coach here through, I believe, 04 was his last year, and then he went to Hammond to be the head baseball coach. A lot of good assistant coaches have gone on here, or a lot of assistant coaches have gone on to be head coaches. course, Ray Derrick and myself at the time both left in the same year. And then Casey Waits was here with us in '04. Chris Brzezinski came in. Casey went on to go to Dutch Fork to win a state championship there. And then Chris Brzezinski is still the head coach at Hammond and won a state championship over there a couple years ago. So
Ray Derrick won one too.
Ray Derrick won one. I think there's only one assistant coach that coached here that went on to be a head coach that didn't win one, and he's talking right now. So Coach Allen has not only had a great program with some great players, he's put out some great coaches out of his tree. So pretty decent crowd here at the Yard tonight, Mont.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Good energy when you walked in. I thought South Pointe would bring a couple more, being a relatively hot start for the Stallions. All right, Charlie, 2-1, 2 outs. What are we looking for right here?
He's looking for a fastball he can absolutely do some serious damage with over the middle of the plate, and if it's not there, he's going to take it and be okay, hit him with 2 strikes or be 3-1. Wouldn't say that was it. That ball looked to be a little outside, and he's been swinging the bat so well, he kind of hard to question what he's doing right there, but he'll miss with the ball up right here, and he can really do some damage.
All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here we go.
And a big gap on the right side of the field. He tops it at third base. He's just got to beat it out. Not a bad inning there for us, Mon, the way it started there, but I always like to put a crooked number up, and we got one, so we're off to a good start.
You know, we went to, going back to the Camden series, I thought we would have had a little more to show for it after 5 runs. I thought we hit the ball really well. And then went up to Camden on Thursday night, and the hits just kept coming, and we actually got a lot of runs, poured it on, I think a 9-run inning, which was great to see.
Yeah, it was a 9-run inning with,
I think, 2 strikes and 2 outs.
Well, Camden had thrown 3 pitches and had 2 outs, and we had nobody on, and went on to score 9 runs after that. That's it's kind of one of those oddities in this game, you know. You just don't. You're the defensive team. It's kind of one of those things you don't really. You're just looking to get that extra out, and you don't think it's going to be that far off, and it just extends to where there's 9 runs and 14 batters is not what you're thinking it's going to be. So certainly a great job by the guys that night to go and take advantage of the free passes, and I think that's the big thing. We didn't have a lot of free passes here when we played them, you know.
Made a couple of nice defensive plays.
Lafitte coming back to get a little cash. Let's see here what we're doing.
Leading off
right.
for the Stallions.
Thank Fitz.
Our production coordinator, Brian Fitzgerald. Thank you.
Tyler right back off to the great start he had in the first inning, throwing strike 1 right there.
I tell you, he's been working ahead just about every batter.
He's really locked in. He's thrown the ball very well this year. I can't think he wasn't as sharp last week, but he threw the ball still. He had great results, and he's really had great outings every time out this year. And knock on wood, of course, but been a big boost to the top of our rotation this year. It's not a bad pitch. Sun setting in right field behind the apartments out there, the Biltmore, and going to drop the temps a little bit and make the viewing a little bit easier on the eyes from back here. Good pitch.
That's a great pitch. Charlie, you said it, the curveball is working tonight.
It's really falling right out of the zone
Now
at the
batting,
top.
number
It's
15, Lance Whitaker.
It's coming out of that same plane as that fastball right now, which is making it so explosive on the hitters, which is exactly what he wants to do from the pitching side. Obviously, as a hitter, you don't want to see that. You want to see a variance of planes, but he's the first hitter he's falling behind right there. Let's see what he can do and bounce back. First left-hander he's faced today.
I think you're talking about the tunnel, that arm slot.
Yeah, there it
coming
is.
out
There's
as a
that new
tunnel.
term they
Yep.
use, the tunnel. Oh, that ball's ripped down the line. Fair ball. It's going to be 2. I cut that thing off. Yeah, they're not going to take him to third base there. Henry Shockham down there in right field did a good job getting to it, cutting it off, and getting back in.
That corner will eat balls up at times. It can go down there and just
Now
stay.
batting for South Point, number
You gotta
13,
be on your-
Jack
You know, it's
Eel.
not a big field in terms of dimensions, but there's some parts of this field that play awful big. That right field corner and that right center field gap play awful big at times here. And, you know, this field's very deceiving, to say the least, in terms of the dimensions. I've seen a lot of people come in here and hit a ball off the fence and it end up being a single because they just aren't running out of the box, or they're not thinking it's going to hit off the fence, or it just is shorter than you think it is in some places. Tyler can bounce back here. Good pitch. Really good pitch right there. See Sammy Esposito over here making the house call tonight.
He was saying he's looking forward to the Classic. A lot of great teams coming in. Troy, I think that scoreboard is incorrect. I think it's actually a 1-1 count. I think we're going to be 1-2 right
I
now.
believe so too. Unless they threw a pitch we weren't seeing. Yeah, that's what we're getting from the umpire, 1-2.
1-2.
Ross Moorhead up there on the scoreboard got a little ahead of ourselves. Good pitch. Missed a little bit over the plate. If he'd have got that ball out over a little bit more where his brother was set up, might have got a swing and miss, but we're still 1-2. I guess we're going to go fastball here and try to put this guy away.
Hey, Charlie, these batters are deep in the box, obviously showing respect to the fastball, but when the curveball's working, it can drop right out in front and swing right over the top of it.
Yeah, that where you are in the box is just a personal preference. There's obviously you don't want to be way up in the front. That ball might get through the middle.
Let's see if we
Good
got a
piece of
play at
hitting on the
home.
breaking ball. And we have no cut there. Only a little late getting over there. Ball was not hit awful hard, but it squeezed through the middle of the infield there. Like I was saying, you don't want to be in the very front of the box.
Now batting number 8, Parker
And
Weatherby.
a lot of guys like to get in the very back. It feels like it gives them a little more time.
To see it,
Yeah,
a little bit more time to swing.
more time to see it, let the ball get a little bit deeper, but, you know, it just is a kind of a preference. South Point swinging the bats this inning. It's 2 hits in a row. First pitch, foul ball. Be great to see a double play here.
Strike right there.
Good decision by Dylan there not to throw behind. That's typically, you know, you get a bunt through a strike. You want to throw behind a runner at first base, but got to remember there's a guy at third base too. 0-2 count here. Let's see if we can get a ball, a swing and a miss.
Ooh. Maybe a touch low. Didn't miss by much. Looked to be over the plate.
Yeah, I'm going to guess if they run here, we're going to take the out at second base in the hopes that we can cut that runner down at third base, and they might be a little hesitant to come home. Try to take the strike out, throw them out.
For Staker security in the house.
Never like to see an officer walking up with a notepad in your direction. Gonna ask somebody to move from the fire hydrant here. Oh, we got to have a play here at the plate. Yes, sir. We got him, I think.
He's
yes,
out.
Sir.
Henry Shalcombe
right call.
from right field. Dylan Hernandez with the tag. Saves a run.
Boy, what a great throw by Henry Shalcombe right there. Really nice play. His dad, Kevin, getting up out of his seat to admire the throw and the play.
Comes Dr. Shalcombe over here right now.
Dr. Shock right there walking up to us. Henry with a tremendous throw.
Great catch, great tag. You know, Monty was right there waiting to hear Dylan tell him to cut. He didn't call it, got out of the way, one hop, put the tag on him. Who's our umpire tonight? Home plate umpire?
Good question. That looks like it's one of two. It looks like Matthew Bruno.
I thought it was Bruno. Bruno right there on top of it. No hesitation, punched him out. What a way to end the
Got a little scoreboard malfunction out there. We're showing we scored 2 in the first, but the total is showing 1. I'm guessing we had a little, maybe we touched the button too quick and things just kind of moved on. I'm guessing Ross is going to reset that thing. Ross likes to have it right, so.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I think the hits are 2 apiece.
They are. It looks like they might have not rolled it over to the next half inning.
Bell Lafitte's taking pictures here.
I'll put them on Bell's Instagram here, right?
All right, moves are being made on the scoreboard. Numbers are being reset.
Yeah, I figured Ross would correct that. Mon, I think we got some listeners who are not here tonight. Of course, Jack Chetwood coming to the plate. His grandparents are in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, watching on. I believe his dad said that his brother was watching it in Durham. Jack rips that ball to left field there just by the third baseman. Let's see if he turns it into 2.
Tell you, Jack's
thought about it.
Hot hitting continues. I think he had 3 hits Saturday.
He did. He swung the bat very well at Camden, too. And, you know, Jack does so many great things at the plate. He can bunt. He runs really well. He handles the bat well. He's having a great season for us. Of course, he's made some tremendous plays in the field. And
he is nifty with the leather.
Rohan Brimmer here. Rohan came in to pinch hit in the second inning at Camden and got us our first RBI. And, of course, hit a big home run on Saturday here on a breaking ball. Good to see him swinging the bat well. But I think, as I was saying on Jack, I say Coach Chetwood because, of course, he coached Midas at PBL to a championship and had him primed for a second when COVID hit. But Holt Chetwood told us his brother's watching in Durham. So a big shout out to the Chetwood family and all of their folks watching from the northern part of South Carolina, which some people call it North Carolina, Mont.
Well, you know, had an opportunity to visit with the Chetwoods this summer up at the American Legion Regional Championships.
Right. It was right in their backyard.
Asheboro, North Carolina. Jack's on the move, going to get there with
good read, Jack. Good steal.
Big debate over barbecue. North Carolina barbecue versus South Carolina barbecue.
I like vinegar barbecue. I'm not going to lie. But I can tolerate the other two.
Are you going North Carolina barbecue? And if so, would you put slaw on your sandwich?
No, I don't want to mess the pork up, you know.
Thank you.
Oh, I missed that pitch right there.
Not by much.
Looks like it got in on him a little bit, but you know, interesting. We're talking about North Carolina. Do you know there's a South Pointe High School in North Carolina?
I did not know that.
South Pointe with an E on the point. And it's not too far from South Pointe in Rock Hill. I think it's about 45 minutes to an hour away, so it can be a little confusing to people if you don't pay attention to your GPS. That'll work as good as a bunt, even though you'd like to see him hit one in the gap. That'll suffice here. We got Logan Price, it looks like, coming to the plate, which Coach Hallett now has a full arsenal of options. Can bunt for a hit. We can squeeze. We can let him swing away. I guess he's going to let him hit here with no strikes in the second inning.
So, Charlie, I have not heard walk-up songs for the past two batters.
And some technical difficulties upstairs, I'm afraid. I'm gonna blame it on the technology and not on the people, because Jim and Ross are usually on top of it. And doing it a long time together.
Yeah.
It's like Batman and Robin up there, you know. Their seats conform to them when they sit down, and it's like they hadn't left every time they come back.
Charlie, it's what I like to say, poetry in motion up there.
It is.
I've got the opportunity to sit with them, and there's a lot going on up there.
There's a lot of conversation you don't realize happens up there Big thing is Jim's got to make sure he turns the mic off. You know, that's probably the hardest thing of running that mic, is you got to remember to turn it off so that the people out here don't hear it. We had a snafu with that one time here when I was coaching. I won't get into the comment or who said it, but when the press box was over the dugout over there, announcer was Rod Connell. You know Rod Connell?
I believe Rod is in the insurance business, or maybe was.
He was in the stock market business.
Okay.
Yeah. Worked here for a long time and then moved to Charleston with Wachovia, then Wells Fargo, and then Rod was the PA announcer here for a long time. His son Barnes played here on the state championship team in 2001. Rod loved the Falcons and loved Falcon baseball, and we missed a sign, it looks like.
Stay in it, Jack.
And we're going to give up. Oh, boy.
Nice job. Way to go, 9. Way to go, guys.
I don't know what happened there or who missed the sign. I'm going to feel very confident that somebody missed one, because we're not going to steal home right there and earned us a great chance to try to score a run, Mont.
See if we can get Logan on, see if we can get that one back somehow. So, Charlie, I'm looking over the press box, the old press box.
Yep.
I wonder if we could have a throwback game and pry that thing open and announce from there. It looks tight, though.
It is tight. It's a weird angle. You got to climb up the ladder to get in there inside it. You know, there was a time, Mont, where you had two guys up there. Buddy Freeman ran the scoreboard.
Yep.
His son Sashry played here just after 2001, and his son Will played here as well. Will might have been on the 07 team, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And boy, we could have used that with Jack on third. Buddy would run the scoreboard, and Rod would run the PA, and that was the only storage room underneath for a while. And you had 7 to 10 gas cans in there at any point in time, fully loaded. Aerosol paint cans, the watering system, or the water systems in there, and the power systems in there too. So it's a
couple bags of fertilizer, I'm
sure. And you know, there may or may not have been a chance to create some explosive over time in there. Logan's thrown out. Logan's thrown out, stealing right there after a great hit to get on first base.
Forest Acres Police have
nice throw by the catcher.
us that there is a van illegally parked.
A van illegally parked out there on the stadium. So if anybody at home watching is the one that parked that.
And the license plate is PUB 174. That's PUB 174. That van needs to be moved or it will be paid.
We're having some technical difficulties. The atmosphere here has gotten a little bit stale. I think the music's been scrubbed. I don't know what's going on up there. It'd be nice to have that. This gym's back on it now, it sounds like.
Yeah. It came back for JoJo's at bat. Joe Ray stepped to the plate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a quick tour around the other sporting events going on here at Falcon Field today. We had softball in action. Looks like they were a comfortable winner over South Pointe. We've got varsity soccer happening live as we speak. Flora's up 2-1 on R&E. R&E came in here with a very athletic, very skilled soccer team. I don't know what R&E's history on soccer has been, but they are giving the Falcons all they can handle. 7 minutes to go in the first period. Flora up 2-1 over R&E. And, you know, Flora's soccer team's been pretty good.
Yeah, we've had of course, our girls were state champions last year, and our boys have had some pretty good seasons as well the last few years, and several region championships between the two. And boys tennis has been ultra successful, and I had a lacrosse parent tell me the other day they felt like they had a good chance to make a deep run in boys lacrosse this year. So spring sports, girls lacrosse is playing well. Softball, of course, is they got a really good team and a chance to probably go very deep, if not all the way, to play for a state championship.
Charlie, talking about playoffs, state championships, let's talk about the high school boys state playoffs in baseball. How do we do the seedings?
Oh boy.
Can you simplify that for our listeners at home? Because I tell you, it's a bunt.
Teller should make this play. Great bare hand, great throw, great stretch by Monty all the way around, really good.
Nice play, putting some pressure on the defense.
We need a 1-2-3 inning and come back in and get some base runners and throw up some numbers here. We've been pretty lethargic at the plate in some at bats, and we've had some good at bats, but we've done some things on the bases that just aren't characteristic of this team or of any Coach Hallett team. So great to see us get a 1-2-3 inning and get right back in and hit a little bit. And I see in the stands, Casey Waits made an appearance here tonight, former coach at Dutch Fork, of course, longtime assistant here. Coach Hallett, he was here in 07, 12, 13, and 14 as an assistant.
Where is Casey?
He's sitting over here behind Sammy Esposito.
Got it. Got some media here tonight.
Yeah.
Lou Bajak from the state is here.
He moved out to Dutch Fork, I believe, in 15, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 16. I think it was 16. Sometime in there. Those years start running together a little bit now, but Casey was here for a lot of these 600 victories over the years. And
there we go.
We were all here. I was here with Casey and Ray and
up next for the Stallions,
and Coach Hallett for 2 years. Or we were all together for 1 year, and it feels like we've got hours of stories to tell just from that 1 year that can keep you moving and keep you rolling for a while. But a lot of great memories of this place. Of course, we've talked about the coaching tree a little bit. Coach Brzezinski was here in 12, 13, and 14 as well. And he may have been here in 17. And that's a great inning right there. We haven't talked about the game in the last two batters, but that's a great inning, about an 8-pitch inning.
That was the 1-2-3 you wanted.
That's what we need. Now we need to come back in. Joe Ray, get us off to a great start and throw up a 3 or a 4 spot right here and kind of separate this thing out and get rolling. We're playing a little slow right now, it looks like. Of course, South Pointe's got a little bit to do with that, but we just need to get it in gear and get going.
So, Charlie, you obviously played at Charleston. Roper's going to play at Charleston. I know you're excited and proud about that, but when you were wrapping up your career at Charleston, what led you to get into athletics? What made you decide that this is what I want to do? Stay close to the game and stay close to you mentioned a lot of people, and I think this game's all about relationships and the impact you have on people. So talk about what led you to this.
Well, I wanted to teach and coach. I don't, looking back, I don't know why. I didn't look at other stuff too, but that's kind of what I wanted to do when I got into college, and I got out of college. And funny, I was going to go coach with the travel team, the Diamond Devils, after my senior year. I already agreed to do that. I got hurt my senior year, so I got to take a medical red shirt. I still coached that summer, and I actually coached 2 players from here, Barnes Connell and Spencer Derrick, who we've kind of talked about a little bit. They were coming off the 2001 state championship. That's the summer of 2001. One of the tournament sites was here in Columbia. Oddly enough, I go to eat at the Connell's house, invited me over for dinner. Of course, being a college student, I didn't have a lot of money. I gladly accepted a meal, free meal, and Coach Hallett came by. And we talked for a little while. We talked baseball. We just kind of hung out. And he told me that night, he said, hey, if you ever want a job and you ever just come to Columbia, look me up. And I, said, okay, great. I had no intentions of ever coming to Columbia. As life had it, a year later, I ended up looking like I was going to move to Columbia. I called him up. Marty Martin, the principal here, gave me a job, and I became the first in-building assistant that Coach Hallett ever had. Everybody else was an out-of-the-building assistant. So very fortunate for that, and got to spend 2 great years here with him and learn a lot. And I went to Spring Valley after the 2 years here and felt like I knew everything, and found out real quickly in the first year that I had a ways to go in terms of that.
For the Falcons, number 9, Joe Ray.
Spring Valley, great tradition, great high school.
Great academic school. A lot of great athletes have come out of Spring Valley High School. Some Olympians, the Bull Wears. You know the Bull Wears?
I do know the Bull Wears.
Yeah. I think Lathon Flowers played there too.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a couple NFL guys come through there.
Charlie, while you're talking, I'm picking up.
We got Joe Ray here coming in, batting 9, wearing 9. His mom and dad, Hal and Melissa, are in the canteen tonight. They've got the prime seat in the house. Hal is directly behind home plate at this moment.
Hal is famous for cooking hot dogs and being the master chef behind the grill.
Hal is the man.
Does a great job. All right, Charlie, I'm picking up a text coming in from New Jersey. We've got a viewer in New Jersey. Trey Fudger, dad of Brennan Fudger, is on a work trip.
Oh, good pitch.
He says he is in New Jersey for work, streaming the game on Definite Fiction. He says it sounds very much like SEC Network Plus broadcast team.
Wow. I think we got to slip Trey a 20 when he gets back.
Tell you what, but I will say it, we said it again, the impact that Definite Fiction has on the Flora community.
Joe hits that ball to right field. Is it going to get over his head? Looks like it might.
He dropped it.
He dropped it.
JoJo's running. See if we get him to third.
Coach Hallett's going to hold him. No, he's going to bring him. Good job there.
Good base running, good hitting.
You know, that's one of those things, Mont, right there. There's so many good things about that. Number one, Joe hits that ball where it's pitched to right field. He's running hard out of the box. He's not assuming it's going to be caught. And because he's running hard out of the box, it gives him a chance to go to third. But it's one of those the general rule of thumb, you don't want to make the first or third out at third base. But obviously, Coach Hallett can see through where everything is, where the ball is in right field. And, he bet on the fact that Joe could get from second to third before the right fielder didn't have possession of the ball still. So we'll take that. And here's Chuck Scott. Hopefully he can continue his hot streak here.
Well, it reemphasizes the importance of sprinting out the box. You just never know what's going to happen, and Joe is going full speed from the second he barreled it up.
Charlie takes a breaking ball. That's a good take for him right there.
Yeah. So, Charlie, I see we got some fans in right field underneath the big red box sign.
Like that. I can't see that far out there. I looked out there last week, and Big Zach Sneed was out there watching the Falcons.
Great supporter of Falcon baseball.
Changeup. Charlie swings to that changeup. We got 2 strikes here. He's looking to hit a ball hard, but he's not looking to do anything different other than just expand his zone a little bit. We need to get this run in something bad right here. It's a good job by Charlie to foul that ball off and stay in.
Yeah. Ooh.
Trey Fudger's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I wonder if he drove. I think he drove up there. He flew. Surely he flew, right? Maybe trained it.
That's a good question. Yeah. I do not think train was an option, but the Amtrak station does run right downtown near my office. That'll
do it. Good job by Charlie. The sac fly to right field.
All right. Good at bat for Charlie.
Drive
right
in
there.
Joe Ray there. That's a good at bat. That's a good way to start the third inning here. Let's see if we can get another base runner here with Roper.
Roper's been swinging it well. I think he had 2 hits on Saturday. A couple more.
Did. He's been swinging it pretty well, and
Roper Whiskey.
it's good to see him and Charlie swinging it well together. It's certainly helpful to the top of the order, but you know, we haven't had a game where it seems like all 4 of our top 4 guys have been hitting at the same time. I think maybe we've done it for an inning or 2 here and there, but not really for a whole game. And he got on that fastball there on the inner half.
Yep.
Really looking to stay simple here and hit the ball right back through the middle of the field. Breaking ball, change up.
I've been impressed with this pitcher.
He's throwing the ball well.
He's changed speeds. Breaking ball's been working.
We can do here with 2 strikes. Oh, just foul.
Yep. It looked like he showed almost like a split finger.
I think that's what it is. I've been
it's-
struggling to see which one it is, but it looks like how he's gripping it. He might be throwing a little splitty. See if we can get a.
Look at it right now. Look at the way it's sitting in the. Charlie, look, he's showing it. See what he
I
comes
think that's
with.
what he's throwing. I'm going to try to get another confirmation over here with some other eyes.
For the viewers at home, we've got a lot of experts behind the plate.
That's what it is. We got confirmation over there from a better set of eyes from the other side. That's
Looks like he's showing it again.
a good pickup. I think he's going to hold it every pitch, Mont.
Good job
base
of
hit.
Roper.
Oh, foul.
Oh. It's a good at bat for Roper.
Still want to stay middle, think middle, think middle. There's in on the inner side of that box right there. That ball's hit well, and it's going to be hit right to the center fielder.
Hey, that was a good at bat. Charlie, I want to go back to right field. One of the interesting, exciting traditions that Flora has is after the home games,
Up next to the Falcons,
you can see the 10 tables out there in right field. The
Hernandez.
parents gather, feed the team. The team will clean up the field, then go outside, hang out, get something to eat, and then come back in the dugout and talk about the game. And I think it's a great way to do it. I think Mark and Maria Price are feeding the team tonight. I got a glance at the menu, and man, it looked good.
Yeah, it is a great tradition. It's one of those things you don't have to worry about what you're getting your meal from after the game. You know right where it is on home games, and it gives the parents a chance to see the kid after the game for a second and go on their way. And you know, like you said, kids get the field ready. They come out and eat, come back in, talk about the game, and then they get to come home. They don't have to go. Oh, they don't have to run to Zaxby's and spend money.
Yep.
So that's nice.
That went right off the catcher's face mask.
You see Bruno going to go out and talk, give the catcher a minute here.
Yep. He took it well. We can check in on him.
Montague, do you remember do you know, trivia question here, the athletic director that hired Andy Hallett?
Bob Reynolds?
Bob Reynolds, good job. Bob Reynolds was the athletic director.
Well, that came off his, that's a
That
foul
ball
ball,
off
yep,
Dylan.
off his leg.
Bob Reynolds hired Andy Hallett here. Mike Sisk was the next athletic director. There's Mike Sisk, a former Falcon, baseball player, played for the Gamecocks.
We're going to check on Dylan. That Seemed to sting pretty
Hit
good.
off inside of his foot.
Yeah.
Hallett going to give him a check here.
Totally, we missed the shin guard there.
Yeah.
Looks like soccer's still 2-1 at halftime. You know, Charlie, no Rock Huey tonight, but I did get a text message from Rock. Wanted to know what was Monty's walk-up song. So Rock is typically here signing autographs between the 3rd and 4th inning. Not here tonight, conflict, but is tuning in at home and watching. Let's see if that's going to get out of play. It's coming back in.
Make a play on it.
Nice play by the catcher. All right, Charlie, after 3, your score, Falcons 2, South Pointe 0.
Well, Johnny Cash over the mic here. Really important here, Mont, for Tyler to come out and get us another 1-2-3 inning and right back in. I believe we're going to have the top of the order coming up. Get us right back in the dugout, put the pressure right back on them on the offensive side, and not give South Pointe much of a hope. And that's what you want to do. You want to just keep them down and keep coming right back and coming into hit until you can extend this lead. And
Tyler's at, if the scoreboard is accurate, and we flipped it over, 39 pitches, pretty efficient, I would say, through 3.
We've got 6 hits they're showing. I think we got 5 and they've got 2, if I'm not mistaken. They're showing 1 for them on the board. They had those 2 in the same inning. Speaking of former Falcon players, there's Sash Freeman and Jared Altus over there coming around the corner on the gate.
It looks like we're going to pick up a couple fans as some of these other sporting events come to a conclusion. The bleachers over there behind first base are starting to fill up. A lot of young kids here, a lot of young players. You see the B-team Falcon jerseys.
Yeah, it looks like
force.
it looks like the softball team's done. Already down here, moving in. Is that Coach O? Coach
You know
O
who that
over
is?
there?
I think that's Coach SK.
Okay. All right, it is.
Coach SK.
It is.
Coach SK was a great addition to the Flora football staff this year. Coached the linebackers, helped Coach Benag on the defense. I understand he's taken over D coordinator.
He was kind of the co-coordinator last year with
Yeah.
Coach Benag, right? They did a great job with the defense last year.
Leading off, number 18, Gage Ashley.
Not get strike 1. Maybe love to have a first pitch, 1 out.
I'm getting a phone call from Kevin Shalcom. Can we take calls on the air?
Hey, Jack Chetwood, folks, coming in. I would. Here I am saying, eat that, don't throw it, and he comes up firing. What a great play! I mean, that's the only shot he's got on the run, and he made it look really easy. Man, that is a great bunt and a great play to defend that bunt. It's kind of one of those, man. It's tough luck on the hitter side.
Yeah, great play. Nice stretch over there at first. I believe that was Mr. Scott, the umpire at first, right there on top of the call to punch him out.
Looks like that is Damon Scott out there.
Former Dreer player.
Now batting number 5,
Dreer
Tyler
graduate.
Hood.
You know, Mont, the South Pointe team, you give Sheldon Brown a lot of credit. They've made a lot of strides from last year when we played them twice, and he's done a really good job. That ball's touched. Is it going to get out of here?
Nope.
Oh. Fastball up. You said you got a phone call from Kevin Shalcom. I don't think we can take live calls on the air.
Up next for the Stallions, number 20,
see here.
Caden McClure.
Question is, are the Lafitte's watching at home in Greenville?
Glad you brought that up. The Lafitte's are watching. They're tuning in.
Okay.
Monty and Carol Lafitte in Greenville. I think my brother is also tuning in. My sister lives in town. She's tuning in. We got our IT director back.
Forest Acres PD's out there, and they are like hot to trot on cars that are parked by that fire hydrant. Is there a way to get his keys?
We got Forest Acres moving cars by the fire hydrant. Going solo here. The pitch by Tyler there, curveball. Mont had to take a break. Alex, you want to jump on for a minute? Fill in for Mont here. I'm going to bring in our.
I'm getting promoted to the A team?
No, you are the A team.
I don't know about that.
Alex, welcome aboard, Alex. Alex, you are the resident definite fictioner.
I
Is
am.
what I'll call you.
That works as well for today. How you doing, Charlie? I appreciate you filling in last week.
Doing good. No, we had a great time filling in.
I listened to the whole thing after I finally got back from the trip I took. It was,
Yeah,
y'all
it's
did a
a-
great job.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
It's not easy. I'm going to tell you right now, though, you better not give me any trivia questions or I'm going to fail every
No,
single
you're
one of them.
okay. We were not prepared with with stats or rosters, and we realized that real quick, so we had to improvise. So we just talked.
Yeah, no, it was, no, I mean, y'all did a great job. I was listening all the way over here, too. You nailed it. You got a win yesterday, 9-2 on the season now.
Ball's going to get away.
He's going to get the third, yeah. Yeah, no, they are now, I think it's 9-2 in the season.
9-3.
9-3.
Yeah, lost down at the Classic to Dorman, and then lost.
Oh, no, I meant South Point. No, we are
Oh
not.
yeah, South Point.
we're-
Yes, South
yes,
Point.
my bad.
Correct.
We are
yeah.
9, yes, we are 9-3. We're
Yes, there are only 2 losses coming last week to York.
Yeah, they got run ruled, and then they had a really close one their second game. But, my job's done. Here you go, big man.
Alex filled in for you, Mont. 2-2 count here. Runner on third and an out for those of you at home. Tyler getting a little bit under that breaking ball now. And the hitter's going to be looking fastball. Tyler's probably thinking fastball. Mont going to come in.
Ooh, in the
Pitch
lights,
hit the
coming
lights
back.
and going
Look
to come
out,
straight
Lord.
down. Oh boy. Oh, Laurie didn't flinch.
Never does.
Didn't flinch. Didn't flinch. Laurie, of course, the across the street neighbor of former Falcon Rent's Best. Did you know that?
I sure did.
Yeah.
Rentz had a great career. I believe Rentz was a North-South All-Star his senior year.
Rent's had a really good, strong career here. Was a North-South All-Star. Good pitch.
That's a great pitch.
Reached back and found a little there.
Big
You know,
punch out.
if you're going to win games in the playoffs, you got to make pitches like that at times. And no matter who you're playing, those are big pitches on big outs. And good to see Tyler do that there. And now let's see if we can.
You know, this batter smoked one down the first base line his first at bat.
He hit that ground ball down the line over there for the double. Got Monty a little deeper than he was last time.
So Charlie Trey comes back and says this is an SEC Network Plus broadcast crew.
He downgraded us. We went from SEC Network to SEC Plus. You got to have the subscription now, right?
It's
See what Trey's doing.
But who are some of your favorite baseball announcers?
Man, I was a big. No, it's not a popular, but I like Joe Morgan on Sunday Night Baseball original. I like Tim McCarver in the World Series growing up. That
Yep.
a lot of insight there. I don't mind John Smoltz. think he talks a little bit more than I'd like to hear him talk, but he's got great insight and great thoughts and processes of it. You know, anybody that really talks and explains what's happening and gives you the thought processes as to why from a baseball side, I find enjoyable to listen to. You know, I'm not a big fan of the people that just sit there and talk stats and, you know, how great this guy is and tell you the story over and over about, you know, how many pancakes he ate on his birthday and how many home runs he hit on Pancake Day, you know, things like that. I felt like when Joey Pancake did that, you heard it 1,000 times. But I just like the people that talk the game, and it's a good pitch down and in. Swing and miss. Coach Hallett wanted that pitch.
Coach wanted it. The whole right side of the infield wanted it. I even thought I saw Henry take a few steps towards the dugout.
Everybody but the hitter wanted it right there.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
You got Forrest Akers out there on a mission to move cars away from the fire hydrant. I hope I'm all right. Uh-oh. This is going to cause us some problems.
Here we go.
Can't get it out. You get a double and you get 2 pass balls, and next thing you know, you got a run, or 2 wild pitches, I guess you could say.
All right, to reset, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Falcons up 2-1 here. Top of the 4th. Tyler
pitch,
comes
strike
back
3.
and gets a strikeout.
It's a pitch we were trying to get right there originally.
Charlie talking about PBL, Trinity Road Little League, and others. Lay the foundation for a lot of these kids out here. My nephew, Wynn Bradley, is a first-year D4 player out at PBL.
Okay.
He plays for Fern. Talked to Ralph Williams today, and Ralph is grooming the next generation of Falcons.
I know Ralph will, if he's not tuning in live, he's definitely going to tune in tonight.
I think he was working the scoreboard upstairs tonight, and said was going to tune in a little bit later. Don't text him. Don't let him know the score. He wants to watch this drama unfold naturally.
Yeah, he likes it. He likes it. He likes to let it fall out naturally and live. I know that. Well, we will tell him, Mott, that score right now is 2-1.
Yeah, so what's throwing us off, what's throwing me off, is they've got the 10th inning frame with zeros on it.
Yes.
And then you go to the runs. I still think you're right. I think South Pointe's got 3 hits. I feel like the 6 hits for Flora is pretty accurate. We were just notified that through 4, Tyler's got 7 strikeouts.
Oh, wow.
So that's been fun to see. And as we say that, Tyler comes to the plate. He's got that combat bat looking to do some damage. You know, Coach SK coached Nick Eamon-Worry.
Over at Irmo.
Over at Irmo. Nick Eamon-Worry dates Raven Johnson, point guard for the women's team at South Carolina.
Full of trivia tonight. I like it.
Raven Johnson, 5 straight Final Fours. And Coach SK is a big fan of Raven. He's a big supporter of Dawn Staley and her team. And he covers a lot of ground.
Good at bat. Need a leadoff base runner here and get another inning started for us. Nice to have a big inning here.
You know, as soon as I dropped that trivia on you, I felt like we were talking about Joey Pancake Day, and you just you didn't like that.
Well, you know, it's just an example I used. You know, let's talk about the game a little bit. Good strike. Heller obviously taking all the way right there. A little frustrated, didn't swing at it, but that's a good take. Lead off the inning. See if he can be patient. He's looking for a ball he can drive right here. Be okay taking ball 4 or strike 2 if it's not one you really want to hit hard.
Let's see if
that was a good one. He just got up underneath it. He missed it.
That's going to stay in. A lot of people moving, and
it
bounces.
It's going to be a base hit.
Yep.
It'll be a base hit or an error. Probably will score an error. Shortstop camped under it. Here comes Explosive.
Stepping up to the plate for the Falcons.
I'm going to take a shot after this half inning, man. I'm going to pass it to Alex, and I'm going to go check to make sure. I think I've got a couple cars parked on the road out there. I keep seeing blue lights, and we've never really had this problem before. I don't know tonight why it's an issue. Of course, parking here is extremely limited.
Yep, when you get a big crowd out here tonight, not a lot of parking, a lot of events going on. Blue lights are out in right field. Got to throw over to first. It's going to get away.
Tyler's going to move to second. That's not Tyler. Who is that running right there? Is that McLean Knight?
McLean Knight enters as a courtesy runner for the catcher. McLean, a promising sophomore for the Falcons.
Well, the Winskys are watching tonight. And Anderson. I'm sure my sister and her boys are watching as well. I know my mother-in-law, Susan Boozer, is watching. I think we talked last week about, we played R&E when Coach Hallett coached at R&E. Of course, he coached my brother-in-law, Thomas Boozer, so my mother-in-law knows him very well. And
Charlie, your parents have been great to both the baseball program, the football program, and incredibly supportive of all these boys. I've enjoyed getting to know them over the years.
Appreciate that, Mott. They enjoy coming down, and I think we talked about it last week at senior night or 2 weeks ago at senior night about how, it seems like all these guys, grandparents, are very much involved in their extracurriculars through high school and seem to be as much a part of the extended or the Falcon family more so than being extended family when it comes to that. So,
well, indefinite fiction is a big part of that. They can stay close to it when they can't get here, but if they're within a short drive, you can count on them being in the stands.
Good take by Monty right there. Really good take. All right, so Monty's going to look for ball. He can hit hard here. Of course, I think if we get a walk, I think you're going to almost certainly see some form of a bunt from Jack, who's on deck. Even though he's been swinging a hot bat, just knowing Coach Hallett, we're going to get a ball on the ground. And it's a good pitch. This young man's throwing the ball very well tonight.
Yep.
He's moved it in and out. He's thrown that little split. He's thrown a little slider. Ball three.
Yep.
Trying to run that pitch count up a little bit at 55 here in the bottom of the fourth. I said last half inning, Sheldon Brown's done a great job here in a short time. I think this is his second year, and this team is much improved from where they were last year in a lot of ways. And tip your cap to him, and he's just going to keep making them better. And
I believe he was coaching Clover Middle School prior to this, and also running the travel team T24.
It's a good take right there. Even though it's a strike, it's a really good take, I think.
We'll finish this at bat.
Get something on the right side and move the runner over at the very least. Strike three, fastball up. There we go. We got a mound visit here. We're going to get a pitching change. Let me walk out to the road. I'm going to pass this on to Alex here. I want to make sure my car's all right. Pass it on.
What am I getting thrown into?
You're back in.
I'm back in. Where's Charlie going?
So there's a lot of commotion going on in right field.
Oh, gosh.
For those that you can't see this, Forest Acres Police is out here in right field. We think they're moving cars that may be near a fire hydrant.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no,
Charlie's going to check on his car. What's up? It's been awesome. We commented while you were gone a couple weeks ago how much you've meant to Definite Fiction and meant to this group of seniors. You came in with these guys, and it's been awesome.
No, thank you. It's been awesome to do it. You hang out with these guys, call them for like the last, 4 years, and I said in the broadcast on Saturday, I knowingly / hopefully need to call them for the next 2 months.
That's right.
So we're looking to go take one down, put another banner in right field, right? Yeah, they can't hear me because I gotta tell them all the time, like, you can't, don't listen to what I say on that matter, because I don't want to be the reason, we got work to take care of.
That's right. That's right.
It's been a competitive game so far. This South Pointe team much improved from last year. I think we run-ruled them here last year. So I was telling Charlie when you were gone, Montague, I said, you better not hit me with any trivia questions because I got no answers for them.
Well, we know you're always prepared, so.
Oh, yeah, what do you want to know?
So, South Pointe 4-2 in the region.
Yes, they started off hot, and then they lost to York last week. They got run-ruled, and then they had a close game on Thursday, which they lost. So, attaboy Jack. Oh, that's going to go right to the second baseman. Gosh, that's just a.
Hold on.
Hey, he just got him.
Oh.
That was close. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. That's just right. Unfortunate.
Did it hit the mound or did it hit the pitcher?
It hit the mound. It honestly should have hit the pitcher, Bentley, but it did.
The mound just killed it.
That's exactly what happened. That was shot right back.
That was.
I heard I missed Dylan's first homer of his varsity career. That was first inning. Where'd he hit it? I didn't see it.
Yeah, Dylan took one deep over the field, over the fence in left field, kind of over the classic sign just below the lights. Really got into it. Reminded me of how he was swinging the bat at the home run derby at the IP Classic. He put a bunch over the left field wall over there.
I was talking to your son, I think late last year. I feel like a lot of these guys have the power to hit one out, but we only see, we haven't seen as much, as many of them hit it out as you think we would. Yep. And Dylan finally gets his first one.
Yep, proud of him for that.
Oh yeah, I thought he smoked one against Miller last year. I thought that was it. And that was just a little too, that was just like a foot or two short last year. Jeez. This kid could smoke it too.
Rohan, we talked about it earlier, big home run on Saturday. That's great to see.
That's nice for him. He had a couple last year, finally got his first one this year, and I'm sure he's now feeling good at the plate. He had a nice sacrifice fly, too, the other day in the wind, too. He was hitting the ball well against Lugoff. They play us well, so it's nice to see us run rule them.
No doubt. Oh, let's see here.
That should get far enough away. Yep.
All right, it's nice to get a run back.
Always nice to get that big insurance run after giving one up. So.
All right, so McLean comes home. That makes it 3-1.
Yeah. And then I guess your car okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, they're cleaning out the area by the fire hydrant out there, Mont, where seems to have a plethora of cars parked every game night when we have soccer and baseball and softball going on. And tonight, fire stinker said you can't park there. Fortunately, mine was not. Mine was a couple vehicles back, so we're good. What a mess.
Well, if there was a way to expand parking out here, it would be nice. So, Charlie, while you were gone, Jack hit one hard up the middle. It looked like it just kind of caught the top of the mound, and it just deadened the ball, allowed the second baseman or maybe the shortstop to come over and make the play. Okay. We did move the runner over. Then we got a pass ball, and McLean came home to score 3-1, and now we've gone full with Rohan.
Rohan just took the same pitch he had out the other day. He knew it, too.
Oh,
hit him in the hand.
Oh, boy.
Hate to see that. It looked like that hit him right on that, I don't know what they call a hamate down there. That could be. Let's hope it's not bad.
Michael Harris, trainer, coming out to
That's
check.
A tremendous job.
Yep.
Jones Tuttle, our bat boy, going to run out here. Hit the bat from Coach Bessinger. Great to see us answer and get a run there. I don't want to take away from Rohan getting hit in the hand there, but a great answer for us coming back and getting a run. We're really struggling tonight at the plate. Of course, their pitcher has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, Charlie, the pitching's going to really be strong next week at the Classic.
It is. We've got a tough schedule. I mean, we're going to open up with Lexington, who's, you know, they've got a really good team, and then Miller, and then Indian who's playing very, very well this year, and they got a lot of guys on the mound at the plate. They're doing some really good stuff up there. Coach Hal Bagwell, legend in North Carolina, retired and moved to South Carolina. Going to bring his Indian Warriors down to Falcon Field next week. Be part of the Classic. See Logan shoot one in the gap again like he did his last at bat. So he's on bunt for a hit here. Fouls it back.
I was just thinking if he could push one he's done a really good job with that push bunt. Try to push it just past the mound so the pitcher can't field it. It's a tough play for second with his speed.
He just missed one Saturday by about a half a foot. The first baseman did not have to take an extra step. If he had, Logan would have beaten it. I don't think the first baseman anticipated him being as fast as he was either. Oh, gonna get him on the check swing.
Ooh. Got a fight right here with 2 strikes.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get to Joe here and give us a chance to score some another run this inning. If not, at least flip the order over heading into the 5th. Oh, ball in the dirt. Good stop. Little backhand there by the catcher.
Charlie, I want to give a quick shout out to the Bell family. Lauren is a Bell. That's where Bell Lafitte comes from. McSwain and Ann Bell, their children, Ann Harrison and Walker, are tuning in from Charlotte.
Charlotte.
So we've got Charlotte, New Jersey, Anderson, Greenville.
Ground ball will get through.
Nifty
Nice
play.
Nice play. Nice play. Of course, your parents, I'm sure, are watching up in Simpsonville.
Lauren's parents in Simpsonville.
Yeah.
The Lafitte's are right there off Augusta Road. All right, we scratched one back. 3-1, Tyler's coming back out.
Imagine at 55 pitches, if he can get through this inning and stay under 70, 75, we may see him through the 6th. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Hallett stretches him out a little bit tonight.
I feel like we've been pretty judicious with pitch counts this year. I don't feel like he's run it too past 75 or 80.
I would really like to see him have about an 8-9 pitch inning at max here and be able to come back and throw the 6th and give us a chance to add to this lead. You know, maybe go to Lucas or Joe to end the ball game.
Yep.
Hadn't really been the fireworks Coach Hallett was probably hoping for in 600. It's probably one of those things you would like to see, you know, an 8 or 9 run lead by now and feel good about everything and kind of take it all in. But I don't want to mention too much about it because you don't want to jinx it, right? But
well, what I like to see is 3 of the 4 innings we've scratched a run. Just got to keep stacking innings.
You know, I did a real quick math here. This will be the 10th win this year, which means he had 590 coming into the year. 28 years of that is an average of 21 wins each season. And you think about it, Mont, many of those seasons, you're looking at 24 regular season games.
Yep.
So there's an awful lot of deep runs in the playoffs and a lot of success here since 1998 when he came in and really turned a program that, you know, a lot of folks in this area would have said had good players, but was not successful, and for whatever reason, and they almost became instantaneously successful and very competitive every time out. Under Coach Hallett, he's won in a lot of different ways. He's had teams that hits the ball over the ballpark. That 2007 team is probably 21. Sorry, it's probably his most offensive team in terms of numbers. But his teams really historically have been known for playing very good defense, pitching, throwing strikes. Yep. And, being very, very aggressive on the bases and being able to do a lot of different things at the plate and put a lot of pressure on you. So it's a formula that's worked.
So, Charlie, our kids came into the program in 21, right?
Yes, the year after, spring after COVID, that's for sure.
So Coach Hallett got his 500th victory.
I remember that at Irmo, right?
That's right, at Irmo.
Did you tell me that's where he won his first ball game here as a Falcon head coach?
That's right. I believe you're going to have to
We're going to go with it, Mont.
check my facts. I believe he
Go
beat
with that.
Lancaster.
Sounds good.
Now batting number
At
8.
a
Preseason
tournament
tournament. Probably
in
what would
Irmo.
have been the old Lake Murray Invitational would be my guess.
Yep.
If you want to go back for
Yeah.
nostalgic purposes, which should morph to the Carolina Ale House preseason tournament.
Irmo has the dugout diner.
Irmo's got some good food.
They do. They've got the grease trap going, the live drop the fries. They've got the Blackstone skillet going, cooked to order.
Had a chicken Philly wrap or a steak Philly wrap
Yeah.
over there a couple years
Yep.
back. I was very, very pleased. Ground ball back to Tyler, and we can retire this next batter here in about 4 pitches. We'll get about that 8-pitch inning, Mont, which is, well, sitting on 7 now, it looks like. But if he can come out of this thing at about 68, he might stretch him out to the 6th, even though we got some guys throwing. He might be enticed to stretch him out, but
Charlie, I'm thinking about our other conversations. You clearly don't like to talk pancakes, but I've asked you about barbecue. I've asked you about slaw. We've covered chicken Phillies. I do like the crinkle cut fries.
Great. Yes. Nice play. Good job.
Good job.
Great inning by Tyler right there. Let's see if we can get
Really
the bats
quick.
cranked up, Mont.
Let's go, boys.
We got Joe Ray, the hottest inning starter we've had. Of course, Joe hit that triple at Camden. He hit that ball about 388 feet.
So 2 out of 3 games in a row, Joe's got a triple.
That night at Camden, Camden's got that field. It's 390 to center, and it just plays. It's so much bigger than that over the years. The ball was flying very well that night. The air was warm, and the ball was flying very well. But I think Joe hit one about 388. Monty hit one about 387.
Yeah.
And Charlie hit one about 410 to center field.
Yeah.
We had a big night that night offensively. I think the Winskys, the young Winskys, might be back at home now. I hadn't got a text confirmation on that yet. Of course, they were here for about 4 innings and got to get home. School night, Mon. Got to get home, get in bed, get ready. But they always go home and turn Definite Fiction on. So Definite Fiction not only has an impact to those that aren't here, it's those that are in town that can't make it through the entire game, like the young Winskys.
Well,
get to go home and hear. So
big shout out
Creek
to
and Wolf and Vale watching it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're watching it and showered by now. I'm hoping for Mom's sake.
Well, Winsky kids, your dad's doing a great job. Charlie, the 5th graders from Brennan are going to Patriots Pointe tomorrow. 6:45 a.m. departure. I was told no bathroom break on the way down.
Wow.
I know, that's a long way to go.
We're going to see the
Yorktown.
Okay.
Leading off for the Falcons, number 9.
Which brings me to one of the prettiest ballparks in South Carolina for sure. If not
Patriots
all
Point.
where the Cougars play.
2 great ballparks down there in Charleston where the Cougars play. Of course, they built all that up around it. Got a little background music here live.
Yep. Alex is on the way back, our producer extraordinaire.
I have no idea. I feel like if I push a button, we'll go off air. Alex is back. Alex, a resident Definite Fictioner.
Yeah.
Countless number of ball games. Saw Steven Johnson walking in the bleachers there. His wife, Sazy, father,
Lane
Ligon, PC grad.
Yep.
I think he might have been a couple years behind my dad. Maybe he was working at PC when my dad was there. We're trying to connect those dots and hadn't been able to connect them together yet since they're down here. But Lane's partner, Andy Walker, whose son Andrew played baseball here. Andy was a ball boy manager because his father was a team doctor and my dad played at Presbyterian College. You know that?
Wow.
Small world.
Is some
Small
deep-
world. The Falcons have reconnected. Good take by Joe. Good at bat. Joe's had some really good at bats there in the bottom of the order, and very, very pleased with his on base percentage and production here. And
now batting for the Falcons.
I've known Coach Howard a long time. I got a feeling he's going to create some action on the bases and at the plate here with some kind of hit and run at some point.
Charlie's got a lot of speed, one of the fastest players in the state of South Carolina. He's also a great bunter. He's bunted for a hit a couple of times.
Just crossed my mind, too. He may have him drop one down, but I just think we're going to swing the bat and try to run. He ripped that ball by him. That's what we needed. Here comes Joe, going to go to third. Charlie should be at second. And we're going to have 3 chances here to drive in, at least 1, if not 2. Let's see if we can capitalize that. This is
big spot for Rope.
Big spot. It's it's where he's got to come through.
All right, Charlie, talking about the game right there. Left fielder, should that ball have gone into second base to try to keep Charlie at first?
Well, you got to worry about the runner that was on third. You really probably should be throwing to your cutoff man at shortstop right there, but I don't think you're going to make that play on Charlie. You're probably getting a call out from your catcher. That's who's going to be watching it because everything's in front of him. That's what people don't realize. A lot of times it's, growing up, usually it's one of your middle infielders or your coaches yelling at you, but here it should be the catcher yelling because everything's in front. If he feels like there's a play at second, he should be yelling 2-2-2, and they should be throwing the ball to second base.
Yep. All right, Sheldon's coming out.
I don't think there was ever a thought there that 2 was going to be that. To me, there was a better chance at third because it was the closer throw coming in than throwing back all the way to second base. Because Charlie was the one that had the run and stop. I mean, Joe had to see it down and go. And see what we do here. A fly ball, anything to drive in a run would be positive.
All right, looks like we're going to leave the pitcher in.
Of course, something in the gap would be ultra positive right here.
Charlie, I'm very confident with Roper coming to the plate. I feel like he thrives.
I think he saw it better the second at bat than he did the first at bat. First at bat, he didn't take the bat off his shoulder at all, but
I feel like he thrives in these moments. I feel like he wants the bat in his hand with runners on base, RBI position, big spot. He's done it on the football field. He's done it on the diamond.
Just got a text the Winsky kids are not watching yet. They're still getting cleaned up, so. Oh, it's a good swing. It's like a split finger there again.
After we picked up on it, I kind of went away from it.
We've seen a ball in play, infield in here. We've seen a ball in play.
Yep. Obviously, he's going to try to keep it down. The pitcher is.
High chase there. A little over aggressive.
Charlie, one of my favorite Gamecocks of all time is Scott Wingo.
Scott Wingo from Malden, South Carolina.
Yep, and he's got a Clemson lineage. His father, Brad, was on the football team and baseball team, if I'm not mistaken, at Clemson.
Oh, 2 here. Oh, he shoots it in the
Just
right
what we
field. Great
wanted.
job. Great job. He should turn that into 2 and make him make a play somewhere here.
No play. Easy stand-up double.
That's one you don't want to make the out at second, but at the same time, you want to force them to make a play there to make sure Charlie scores a run. It's
a great piece of hit.
Kind of hard to explain if you're not here watching it, but that may not be a double. Based on where the right fielder is, it's a double. But if he's playing a little more straight up for where he should be, it's probably a base hit. I don't mind him stretching it there. Even though it might create an out, it's going to guarantee you a run. And that's at this point in a tight ball game, you want to get more runs, and you give up an out for a run at any point in time. And it would not shock me here if Coach Howlett gives Dylan a pitch to hit. And if he doesn't do much with it with first till he gets a strike, if it's a strike, I would imagine he may bunt him to try to move that runner over and add another run.
Yeah.
That's kind of a Coach Howlett thing here. Oh, Coach Waite slipped away. I was going to try to get him over here on the mic and ask him his best story. Man, we got some great stories. I'm telling you, we were together with Coach Derrick and Coach Howlett for years. I don't feel like I can share some of those stories. just based on, there's just some things you don't tell.
Yeah.
It's nothing bad. It's nothing that you are embarrassed about. It's just things that it just stays amongst the four of you because you really appreciate him. And honestly, it's one of those things, if I told the listeners, it probably wouldn't have as much value as it does to those that are around. But boy, I talked to Coach Waits the other night. He texted me on the way home from Camden how the boys did. And I told him that Coach Hallett was 2 wins away, and he called me, and he gave me about 35 minutes of nostalgia on the way home from Camden of the old times we had here together. Of course, now Roper on third, and Dillon's looking infield in, going to look to drive a ball to the outfield here and get an RBI.
Yep. Looking across the way behind this, soccer's gone up 3-1. That's a deceiving pitch, Charlie. That ball keeps just falling
It's hard.
off.
It's coming out of that same tunnel we talked about, and it just falls out.
You see that 3 times in a row, then he's going to come back with fastball in, fastball up.
Good at bat. That's a good pitch. I'll be honest. This young man has thrown the ball very well. He's thrown that split finger down.
Yeah.
But he's come back and attacked us in. He hadn't been afraid to come in, which is really kind of giving our hitters some fits at times. But he's also thrown that split finger in, which has really given us some fits as well. And, you tip your cap to him. He's good job there by Dillon. But you tip your cap to him because he's made some great pitches. And honestly, he's pitched well enough. This game probably should be 3-1 right now.
Yep.
They had the ball in right field. I felt like could have been caught. You had to lead off the last inning
to Tyler.
Tyler's fly ball that ended up, we scored that run. So probably could be 3-1 right now. And he's been very impressed with how he's thrown the baseball. I want to try to find out who he is and what year he is. See if Alex has got a roster. You got a roster?
Yeah.
The pitcher name and what's his name? Ben Lee. What's his year? The junior. Yeah, he's thrown the ball very well. He's thrown the ball. Alex, look at Alex, man. This is why he's the pro, Mont.
Do you want to compare pregame notes, mine versus?
Yeah, I think yours are a little more chicken scratched.
Yep. South Pointe,
Look like
9-2 overall record.
Banker's handwriting there, which is typed, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. That's our roster, Mont.
That is
ours.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd look
Those are the notes.
Number 17 is Rick Scott. That's not Rick Scott pitching. I'm sure
Up
that
next to the Falcons, number 21, Tyler Hernandez.
strikeout there by Ben Lee. We need to get this run in from third base. Coach Hallett may go safety squeeze here. I like to play that game. What do I think he's going to do? I'm right about 40% of the time.
Well,
Take that.
Rope slides home. Superman slide.
I'll be interested to see. Coach Hallett went back and watched us the other night just because he wanted to watch senior night again and kind of hear us. And sure, if we hold on to win and get 600, he'll watch this at some point. Be interested to see because he'll remember a lot of this game situations and pitch to pitch. It's really, he's got a great mind for that. I'd be interested to see some of the scenarios that what I think he's going to do if I was close to the thought process. It's he does a tremendous job. He's one of the best. He's one of the best offensive coaches at third base, and not just saying that because he's coaching our kids. There's a handful that are active still that are really good. His mentor Barry Mazzell at Blythewood and at R&E. Barry was always, when you coached against Barry, it was always like coaching in a chess match because you're trying to think one step ahead. He's trying to think one step ahead of you, and you both are one step behind each other the whole time, it felt like, but you're on top of each other. So it's just kind of, those were the games for me that were mentally exhausting as a coach because you're trying to outthink the guy you're coaching against.
Yeah.
Coach Hallett's one of those guys, you try to outthink him, and usually you guess wrong and you're in trouble from an offensive standpoint. Tyler with the fly ball there on that split finger. That's giving us fits this night. Mr. Lee's got a great pitch there. Don't know if his parents are here. Hopefully they're tuning in on Definite Fiction back in York County.
If not, the Game Changer, I believe, is throwing up a live feed.
Okay. They're watching that. I bet they're watching that.
Yep. I wonder if that Game Changer feed's picking up our commentary.
It may be. Maybe. Still like your intro. Hello, friends.
Yeah. Charlie, have you been to Augusta?
You know, Mont, I never have been. I hate to say that. I'm embarrassed to say that. And you know what's ironic is when I was coaching baseball for all those years, I would get, you know, people would offer me tickets. That ball's hit well by Monty. It's going to be right at the center fielder. That's the third ball we've hit right on the nose to him tonight in center field. And I went down and got that.
Yep.
When I was coaching baseball, I finished my story. I would be offered, I think, practice rounds, some weekend tickets, and I always had a game. We're always in a tournament, and I always had to politely decline them. And I mean, it was like every year for 8 or 9 years there. And when I became the AD at Flora, I think I was most excited because I was like, man, I'll get a spring break, and somebody's going to offer me Masters, and I'm finally going to get to go. And it's like, I think I had too many offers and too many no's to people to say, hey, you want to go? So I haven't been able to do it. I did have an option a couple years back, but I couldn't make it work. My wife and I have gone to Harbortown.
Yep. Great event.
Great event. Love that. I know you guys usually go down there if it works out for the weekend. And I've been to Quail Hollow.
Great event.
Which is a great event. Followed a former Falcon around Quail Hollow.
Who's that?
Jonathan Bird.
Jonathan Bird.
Yeah.
Great Clemson golfer.
Tyler going to come back out here in the
top of the sixth.
Top of the sixth. I think he's
leading off for the Stallions.
No, sorry, I said Jonathan Bird. It's Charles Warren.
Charles Warren.
Charles Warren, yeah. Charles Warren was a Florida grad, state champion here.
Yep.
Coached his cousin Rob Harding at Spring Valley. And follow. Embarrassed to say, we actually retired Charles's polo, not jersey, here when I was the athletic director.
That was a great honor. Charlie, the Flora
lives off Augusta Road in Greenville now. Small world, right?
Yep,
He's a member of the GCC, I believe.
So, Charlie, the Flora boys golf team went to the Blue Jacket Invitational this weekend.
Okay, is that at Ainer?
That is actually in Loris.
Loris, okay, well, hosted by Ainer.
Hosted by Ainer.
Ainer Blue Jackets, yeah.
You know, a lot of people refer to that part of the state as UCLA.
Yeah.
Upper Conway, Lower Ainer.
Lower Ainer, yeah.
And
they have Perlo down there. They don't have chicken bog. Well, they have some chicken bog in the northern part of Horry County, but it's how'd the boys do?
So William Milliken finished in the top 10 all-tournament team, and I'm proud to announce.
What's a good pitch?
That's a great pitch. Flora won, 26 teams.
Okay.
Falcons took home the championship.
What do we shoot?
They beat, don't have the final tally in front of me, but I can tell you the top 4 guys all finished in the top 24 or better. And big win, they ended up beating Chapin by about 3 strokes.
Okay, that's a big win for them.
That's a 1 stroke per person. And coming down the stretch there, some great golf. Tough conditions at the Diamondback.
Oh, good pitch.
Ooh, that's a late call.
Top of the zone by Matt Bruno. Bell's trying to distract you there with some text messages or some conversations.
Yep.
You know, Mott, interestingly enough, longtime AC Flora boys golf coach Harry Huntley. This is pitcher Ben Lee. Boys golf may be the only program here that has more championships in baseball.
17, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I say only. They've had an incredible run of success, and of course Harry Huntley was the
up next, number 18,
longtime
Dave
coach and architect
Ashley.
of that, and handed over to Robert Dargan, who continued the tradition. And I remember when I was here in 2003, They won a state championship. I don't know if it was their first one, but they won, I want to say, by like 40-something strokes.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, they weren't just barely winning state championships. They were winning very convincingly during that time. So Coach Hallett, did you know a little interesting fact about Coach Hallett? He coached the girls golf team.
For how many years, Charlie?
I think he was the first coach of the girls golf team. I think, what, 4? If I'm not mistaken, 8.
I believe it was 8 years.
I think he has a state runner-up, if I'm not mistaken.
Coach Hallett, a good golfer himself.
I think it started out as an idea of, yeah, I'll coach him and we can, I can play golf. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he actually got into it and enjoyed it and actually realized there is some coaching involved. And he got to play a little golf involved too. Charlie didn't see that and is now coming on and he's got
Yep, he got it.
it. He lost it looks like, off the bat.
Another great inning for Tyler.
74. I'll be interested to see if Coach Hallett gives him a shot. I'm going to bet he's not. It looks like by the high fives he's not, but let's see if we can read body language here. I think he's done based on the conversation. He gave him the old, if you get to hit, you go. I think you point to the outfield. You may go to the outfield. Coach Hallett has played around with that double substitution a lot in our last few games. It's kind of one of these. You don't want to be the guy that makes the last out in this inning because you may be the guy that gets to sit on defense next inning. But I'm going to bet that he's probably going to keep the infield and the outfield the same and go to whoever. Can't see who's throwing the buildings blocking us down there.
It looked like Wilkins was back there.
That's what I was thinking. He might go to Wilkins here and save Logan or Lucas for South Pointe, just because he's been limiting Sam's pitch count the last few weeks.
Wilkins has had 2 really nice games. I think closed out Tuesday night at Camden.
Yeah.
And then pitched a really good inning or 2 against Lugoff on Saturday. Wilkins has worked really hard. He's got a lot of movement on that ball, but he's also got a lot of velocity.
You know, it's
a little bit different angle, a little bit different arm slot.
Yeah, it's tough when you come in and you see a guy that throws at their hip and you don't get a lot of looks at it. The left-handers are usually going to have a lot more success because it's to their open side and they have a bigger view of it. But you know, it's a tough angle, especially when he's pounding the zone. And when he gets that little bitty sweep going, it can really throw you off. You know.
Charlie, you surprised Ben Lee's back out here, 89 pitches?
I'm not. He's been throwing the ball well. It's not a maybe, but you know, he's a junior and you know, I think Coach Brown's probably thinking he's going to need him in the playoffs at some point to extend it to probably 90, 95 pitches, and I wouldn't think he'll go more than 100 tonight. I don't know what they've done over there, but I would be surprised if Coach Brown's probably thinking that he can get him through this inning and keep him under 100 and have a great outing. But he has a little different philosophy on those things, and you know, nothing's wrong as long as you're given the chance to rest and recuperate.
Yep, so bullpen is empty for South Pointe. If we're going to make a change, it's coming from the field.
That's what I'm thinking. Stanley's got a couple talented young arms. I think they've been throwing in relief mostly and kind of combining some games together. So I think the plan was if the game was close, they may bring him in. We may see him on Thursday.
Palmer, is that his name?
I believe that's the name. Somebody mentioned it earlier. I'm not great with names.
Get out of play.
Not great with names. There's Will Freeman, brother of Sash Freeman. Maybe Will was who I saw earlier and just thought it was Sash. Sorry. Nope, Sash is here. There he comes around the corner. Sash Freeman. Coach Hallett will remember this story. Mont were playing the lower state championship at Carolina Forest in 2003. I believe it was. Jack hits that ball well over to the left fielder.
Yeah.
It's going to be a double. Oh, good at bat. He got his hands through very well. And gives the Birds. Back Chetwood, Rohan back up. Good to see him back up.
Number 28.
So, Charlie, I think we're talking about Parker Witherby, freshman.
Right, yeah.
Throws it pretty good. He's got an under 1 ERA.
Yeah, that's the one that's supposed to be a really good rising youngster in this program. I think Coach Brown's been using him in some short relief and on the back end of games this year.
I think he's already got 4 saves.
Yeah. And Coach Brown, from what I understand, Rohan gets on that ball to right field. Is it going to be caught? That's going to be another double.
Let's see. Jack's going to have to turn it on.
Jack's going to score.
Send him. All right, that ball goes straight to second.
Yeah.
Big hit.
What I was saying about Sash up here, and then, you know, Coach Howard will remember this. We were playing at Carolina Forest, and this is a great Ray Derrick story, by the way. I want to get into that. I'm going to go all the way back. We've got to go to Carolina Forest. We got to win twice. We lost the first game of the lower state districts here. We fought our way back. We beat Brooklyn Casey, I think, for the 3rd or 4th time that year after they beat us here. And we got to go to Carolina Forest. We got to win twice to get to the state championship. Of course, the prize for getting there is Riverside, and you know, maybe one of the best high school talent-wise teams in the history of the state that they had at Riverside. But we got a charter bus. We were smart. We got to go to Conway. We got to win 2. We're planning on playing 2, and we're going to get a charter bus. So we got a charter bus. So we found out getting on to I-20 off 77, our charter bus had no air.
Oh,
no air, and it's mid-May. So I think we're about Camden-ish, and Coach D's shirt was off in the bus.
Right.
A lot of the players' shirt was off too, because that thing is, you know, a charter bus, you can't open the windows.
Yeah.
And I think I looked over, and Coach D's in a pair of shorts only on the bus, and needless to say, all of us were in shorts only because it was pretty warm, and you know, all we could talk about was, you know, when we get there, we're going to be so excited because they're going to give us a classroom to change in, and we'll get some air. We get there and get told, hey, classroom's not available. You're going to have to hang out outside to play. And we had to beat them twice, and our best arm that year was Derek Vidro, and he only had 3 innings. Back then, you could pitch a number of innings over a certain number of days, and Derek had 3 innings, so we had to figure out a way to get through game 1 and get to the 5th, 6th, 7th with Derek. And Ben Halligan was starting game 1, and I think in the 2nd inning, Benny took a ball off the forearm. And it's like the worst case scenario for us because we didn't have a lot to go to, and we went to Spencer Derrick, and Spencer struggled a little bit, and he got us into the 4th, and Coach Howlett was making a pitching change, and I just looked at Coach Howlett and I said, hey, if we got any chance to win this, we got to bring in Sash out of left and just spin breaking balls.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like I had 3 heads, and I said, I got a feeling. Like, they've been hitting our fastball. Our 2 fastball guys they've been hitting. We just got to spin breakers and give our offense a chance. And he brought in Sash, and he went 4, 5, 6, 7, and
set him down.
Well, and offensively, I think over those 2 games, I think we hit like 9 home runs in 2 games, and we had like 5 the whole year. So it was like an offensive explosion. And so Sash pitched the rest of that first game, and Coach Howlett looked at him when the game was over, and he said, hey, take 30 minutes off. You're going back out. And Sash rolled us 4 more, and we brought in Vidro to finish and win the lower state championship, and we got back on a bus with no air, and nobody cared because we were lower state champ. I think we got home at like 3 in the morning. It's a great memory still of mine in my first year of coaching, and I know it's one that Coach Howlett will remember, not only because we won twice, but because of the circumstances around it.
Charlie, what memories do you have here the last couple of years? Some of the great games that was played on this field, or just during Roper's career here?
Well, I feel like last year against Lugoff, I remember specifically he hit that triple that tied us up, that we ended up going back and winning that game. Some of the Forest Acres Classic games, the triple play last year was one for the ages here. Of course, Monty was the starter of that.
Yep.
Makes that slide and catch on a bunt, and you know, then he throws it high towards the shortstop side of the bag, and Roper caught it with his left foot on and then throws it back. It was kind of one of those, all the scenarios had to work right for it to even happen, and it was Jeff called it on definite fiction, and I think that's going to be a good bunt.
That's
good
the
bunt.
push
That's going to
bunt.
score
We're
a
gonna
run.
score.
That might
Come on,
score.
come on.
Not going to be enough.
Okay, he held him.
And that's what Logan does, and like Logan is a prototypical player for Coach Hallett, a guy that he just loves because he gives him so many options. He can run. He handles the bat well. And Joe's one of those guys. Listen, we're going to see a bunt right here in this at bat's my guess at some point. It's safety squeeze. He may let
Logan try to steal. Go ahead.
Let Logan try to steal, but I think we're going to see Joe handle this bat and maybe push it the same way. Oh, he shoots it to right field. It's going to be a double.
That's going to work out.
And Joe Ray's on fire. Oh. Joe's dad Hal back here with the best seat in the house tonight.
Yep.
It's Mom Melissa. They get to sit, and boy, Mom Melissa is just a fantastic volunteer for AC Florida baseball and very supportive. Dale and Carrie Ness filling in for me tonight.
This was your
I told
canteen
Coach
duty?
Howard, I said, I'll be happy to get on for you, but I need some help. And he says, all right, we'll get somebody. All right, Mont, 3-run homer. We go home.
You know, I'll say
Night's
this.
over.
Charlie's second at bat yesterday. I'm sitting over there behind home plate on Saturday. I looked at Belle and I said, Belle, he's hitting this one out. She goes, Dad, he's not going to get out. I said, I didn't say he's getting out. I said, he's going to hit this one out of the park. And then I told Caroline that, and Charlie delivered for me. That was a shot, and then he followed it up with another shot, and he almost followed it up with another shot.
Wow. Missed that one. He's going to get an RBI out of it, though.
Both runners moving up.
Oh, nice throw.
Yep.
That's a nice throw.
And
Is that Ben Lee out there in right field? I can't see that far.
number 20. I think Ben it moved to first base.
So, Wad, you were talking about Billy Wingo earlier. Scott Wingo's dad got a listener texted in. Made me aware of something I didn't know. I knew he played at Clemson. Played with my father-in-law, Tommy Boozer, at Clemson.
Wow.
Who's an Eau Claire Shamrock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad to know we've got interactive listeners here.
Traded the orange and green for the purple and orange for his college career. Leave that ball up. You know, even though it's 9-1, you're still trying to have good at-bats here and be productive. Looks like he's going to get Hank Gaines moving. Maybe try to save whoever he was going to bring in. And Roper misses that breaking ball. Fouls it straight back. I keep shooting that ball to right field like we've been doing. Not try to do too much with it here.
We've had a lot of balls in right field.
The bigger thing is you want to ground ball in the middle of the infield and try to score a run. You don't care about the hit as much as getting that run across and extending the lead further. It's a good take. Ball's up. I'll take a double and a single to end this thing right here, Mott, be honest with you. Lauren Lafitte, big fan over there.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell Lauren to answer her phone, but my communication skills are not.
She's not picking it up.
No.
Maybe if you played explosive, you might hear her ears perk up over there. I'm not so sure. Hugh Scott over there looks like he had a big game tonight at PBL. Babe. There it is. That ball's hit well to left field, right to the left fielder.
Oh, he drops it. Hey, Charlie, we've had
it's one where you hit it so well, you hope. You'd like to get a hit out of it, but you don't. You just can't statistically, right? I mean, that ball's hit well. He hit one the other day, the shortstop, that he absolutely blistered.
Yep.
It was caught, but he had the two infield singles. It's kind of the law of averages in baseball. And, you know, Dylan, we talked about him earlier. He's blistered some balls in the last couple weeks that have just been right at people, too. And this 10-1 score is not indicative of how this game has been. Hugh Scott, Wolf Winsky. Get to carry on
Dynamic
the
duo.
Winsky-Scott tradition.
They're on the same team?
Yeah.
How are we doing?
No, they're not on the same team. They got to play for, I think, 2 years of T-ball together, but when the draft started, they got split up. They get to play on the Canes together, Mont.
Okay.
But Hugh's a good player. He's a good little player, yeah. Yeah, they're very competitive like their older brothers. It's going to be interesting to watch them grow up together. I don't know that either's going to be as fast as their older brothers. I feel comfortable in saying that right now. Maybe. I don't know. But they both love playing, and they both are very competitive kids and have great older brothers to look up to.
Yep.
I'll say that, and enjoy it. And I tell Roper all the time, and I'm sure Austin tells Charlie, that they see more than you realize. I looked up the other day. I think Wolf got on second in the game. He's giving the birds back to the dugout. Nobody knew what to do, So they're watching a lot more. So runner in scoring position here, Dylan with a chance to drive Roper in and make it a 11-1, 10-run ball game. Give Coach Hallett his 600th victory as a head coach, and hopefully, Mott, about 17 to 18 more this year would be nice.
Yeah, let's keep it going.
Right? And push that thing out. And, law of averages say he coaches about 4.5 more years, he'll get to 700. I think 600 will put him in the top 6 all time. Maybe I'll look today. There's some that have not been updated, but I think this will put him in the top 6. Of course, and that is going to get fouled.
Just missed it.
Of course, Dorman head coach Jack Jolly just got his 600th win, I think, last week. And so we'll have 2 active coaches in the state with over 600 wins. Pretty impressive. Certainly when Coach Hallett took the job here, Mont, by all accounts, everybody I've talked to that lived in Forest Acres, that knew about ACU Flora, said they never saw this coming when he took the job. I think a lot of people thought he was crazy when he took the job, and I think it was pretty easy for Bob Reynolds to give him the job because he was one of very few people that wanted it. But he saw something here. He bet on himself, and obviously that bet's paid off well for him over the years.
I think I read there weren't even fences down the foul line.
Chicken wire in the outfield.
Yeah.
And, of course, this park's undergone so many different transformations in his time. Coach Hallett was a big facilities. When I first got here, actually where we're standing now wasn't flat. It was a hill.
Yeah.
And it was flat down by the fence, and the fence was about a 10 to 15-foot fence up. There was no wall. There was no seating back here. The visitors stood up on the hill. The home team sat way back on the hill or down low. Water set there all the time, and I remember when this was first starting to be built, the press box went in, and it's just kind of morphed and continued to grow, and foul lines, and the building down there where the indoor hitting facility is was not here. And Coach Hallett and some parents, Mike Munson and Cam Lewis, were instrumental in helping get some money from the city of Forest Acres to part of the Forest Acres Festival to get that building built here on the AC Flora campus.
The thing I love about the school and the facilities over here, it's cozy. It's in the neighborhood.
It is.
It's a cozy ballpark.
It's a nice word for it, cozy.
And I tell you, when you get into the playoffs, it can become like a beehive.
It can, and it can buzz a little bit. You're right. It's students, I like that analogy.
Yep, students fill in on the bleachers over on first base on the other side of the dugout.
Yep.
Parents
great environment, great place. It's just a all-around great atmosphere for high school baseball. And of course, we'll see it next week with the Classic for sure. Mon, I was at PBL the other day, and I was watching coach pitch game. And I'm watching the game, and one of the teams is coached by Brett Thomas, who played here in 07, went to play at UNC Chapel Hill. Pitching for Brett Thomas's team, that'll do it right there.
That'll do it.
Pitching for Brett Thomas's team was Ben Halligan, who pitched here. And the other team was coached by Willie Strauss, who played here for Coach Hallis, is a dentist here in town.
Yep.
Pitching for him was Mike Shaw, who was on Ben Halligan's team. So we had 2 Falcon former pitchers going against each other, coached by 2 former Falcons. Awesome to
That's the
see.
ball game, folks.
Coach
Our final
Hallett gets
score
600.
tonight,
What are your
AC
thoughts?
Flora 11,
Well,
South Point 1.
How cool is it that
Falcon
Roper
fans,
touched play?
please remain in the ball
You
game.
know, that's a good. That's pretty awesome to see that.
Your connection, your history.
Yeah, that's. I didn't even think about that. Thanks for bringing that up. That's pretty cool. You know, Roper ran around here as a youngster when I was the AD from 11 to 15, and he ran around here with, like I said last week, Tyler and Dylan. We're running around here with them, but pretty special to see that. Actually,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
That
Pretty
was a-
cool moment. I'm glad you picked up on that.
Great moment. Coach looks happy.
Yeah, I think there's some relief and some excitement too. It looks like we're going to have a special presentation. It looks like that's Deputy Dave Adams, who we gave a little shout out to last time here, wearing the neon yellow vest down there. Hope he wasn't the one towing all people off the fire hydrant. Casey Waite's coming over there. It looks like he's going to go down and say hello to Coach Hallett. I think there's a couple other former players over here. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool moment. I'm sure his parents are watching back in upstate New York, extremely proud, and his brother's watching, sister watching, and
Falcon fans,
Here we go.
tonight has turned into
We'll
a
let
very
Jim Stevens
special
take it.
night
Yep.
for AC Flora
if you can hear it.
baseball.
Of course, Patty Moore has been a long-time co-worker of Coach Hallett. I think
has notched his 600th career win.
they've spent many a days in the gym together here at AC Flora High School.
What an achievement for Coach Hallett and our AC Flora baseball program. Congratulations, Coach Hallett. We're looking forward to number 700.
Hope we see him get 700 here,
Yeah.
Mont. That will be awesome. I don't think he ever thought he'd be at 600, but
Kind of neat, Charlie. These seniors came in,
6 years, Mont.
yeah, the year that he got 500.
Yeah,
and
6
so
years.
to see 2 milestones for these guys, and I'm sure he's going to give the players a lot of credit.
Yeah.
A lot of the coaches, you included, that have been a part of the program, and what a cool moment.
You know, you can say what you want. There's been a lot of great players here. There's been a lot of great coaches that have come through here, but there's been one constant.
Yep.
And, you know, in 29 years, there's been one common denominator all 29 of those years. And he even mentioned it one time to me. He said, you know, we've won 7 state championships. We played for, I think, 3 others.
Yep. I think
2
runner-up at least twice.
2 others, yeah. They've only lost it twice, I believe. I could be missing one, but I think that's right. And, you know, he said, I've had a lot of different coaches, a lot of different players, but I've been here to see all of it. And
Yep.
I think that's his humble way of saying it's been a great ride here. And, man, he's had a great accomplishments. And, you know, there's going in the Hall of Fame this year, too, as a baseball coach, South Carolina Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame. And 500 wins in 21 and 600 wins in 26. So 5 years, man, that's shredding it pretty good.
Tell you, there's some media down on the field. Looks like Lou's going to do an interview with Coach.
Yeah.
Lisa Hernandez down on the field. We've got a couple folks with cameras. And, you know, I think the message to the kids, and the words of Josh Staley, back to work.
Back to work. Amen to that.
They're going to clean this field up. They're going to get ready for a game on Thursday. Then we start the Classic next week.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, we got to go to South Point, and I know 11-1 looks like, or 12-1, I guess, if you want to be technical about it. But I expect that team to be ready to play on Thursday. You know, I think York beat them pretty good the first time.
Very close.
Last
game 2.
week, and then game 2 was a very well played, well coached, and well pitched game. So anticipate that on Thursday. Hopefully our guys will go up there and lock it in and not be distracted by what's coming in the Classic, and notch our 6th region win in a row and put us in a good position to come in after spring break and finish off the region championship and get a good seat at the playoffs.
So we talked about the playoffs earlier. Real quick for our listeners at home, region championship winners, Dylan come by, big home run. Region champions are seated first, and how do we do it after that?
Well, what'll happen, Mont, with 4A, and I think you asked me this earlier, we had some stuff happen, but in 4A, it's the region champions are all seated first, and it's based on your RPI, the ratings index, and how they do it. And
Max Preps is doing
Max
that for
Preps
us.
does that for us. There's a formula in there, and of course you want to be the region champ because you want to be the highest seeded region champ, honestly, and they'll be your region runner-up. The highest seeded runner-up will get treated like that too. And then it all is about getting out of that district. And you want to get, that's something we've had a hard time doing the last couple years, which is very abnormal in the Coach Hallett era. Now that we're talking about 600 wins, it's, I think there's only been like 4 times that he hasn't gotten out of the district. So it's just pretty impressive if you think about it, right? But you get out of that district, and then it becomes a 2 out of 3, which at that point it's just about matchups and living to see another day. So hopefully this group can finish off and get that seed, and let's take care of some district action, right?
Yeah, yep. District, 8 teams. Higher seed typically plays at home.
And, you know, you said Roper touched home plate, but that was Tyler getting the hit there. He's been a 4-year starter. Yep. His older brother, Josh and Johnny, played here for Coach Hallett and won some state championships. And Tyler was running around with Roper when Roper was a youngster in 12, 13, and 14 playing. Of course, William Tyler's father was here watching his older boys play. So pretty special moment for Coach Hallett, I would imagine, to see those 2 youngsters that were here 11, 12 years ago running around, get the hit and score the run to give you 600. Never saw that coming.
Well, not only did Tyler get the hit, he also threw a complete game.
He did. Great point. And solid tonight. 2-hitter.
Yep.
Pitched well outside of the 3-hitter, because he had the double here, the base hit in the same inning, and then we had the double to lead off the what was that, the 3rd, where they scored their run, 4th inning. Pitched out of a jam there in the 2nd.
Yep,
did a great job throwing the baseball. Got a big strikeout. And honestly, Mon, if he doesn't have the wild pitch on the fastball elevated up, that he executes the next pitch, he throws a complete game shutout or a 6-inning shutout. And it would have been awesome. So I see Alex over here. He's itching to turn the mic off tonight. I feel like he's ready to kick us off. He's ready to have his job back. So we're going to kick it back to him. Maybe we'll hop on for a part of the classic.
Yeah.
What do you think?
A celebrity guest appearance.
Celebrity guest, and maybe we can get some folks here. Appreciate it. Congrats to Coach Hallett. Been an incredible run here that hopefully we'll see continue for several more years.
Absolutely.
But at least 8 to 9 more weeks this season is what we're hoping, right?
That's right. Unfinished business, Charlie.
That's right. That's right.
Congrats to Coach Hallett. Still on the field posing for pictures.
Yeah, he should.
A lot of folks down there here to congratulate him. And
yeah, he's with Deputy Dave Adams, who was a long-time resource officer here. We talked about him last week. He was, see Casey Waits. It looks like his wife, Robin Waits, who used to teach here, is down there as well. Ross Moorhead, long-time scoreboard operator.
Former players back.
Yep. Couple former players. Marnie Chetwood back here talking to Monty Lafitte. Is Mont going to prom?
Yes, he is, Charlie.
Okay, I love it.
We've done one prom and 1 to go.
Oh, we got 2, huh? I like it. I like it, getting the value out of that tux.
We're maxing out senior year.
Yeah. It's fast and furious now, man. I feel like every time we turn around, there's something else coming. I think we ought to wrap it up.
Let's do it.
Congrats, Coach Hallett. Incredible accomplishment.
Yep, absolutely.
We appreciate everything you've done, and look forward to many more.
That's right. Finished the year strong.
Mont, enjoyed it, man.
A lot of fun. Alex, we're going to hand it back over to you.
Thanks for sharing it with us tonight.
All right, for those still listening, congrats, Coach Hallett. I didn't get to say it on stream, so just got to say it myself. 600's a lot, and it's, as Jeff said last night with Coach Purdy, it's a lot of wins, a lot of memories made to kids, and a lot of kids coached, a lot of wins. So yeah, we're back here next week for the Classic. Jeff's down on the Oceanside. Thank you for Monty and Charlie taking over. I get to now have the privilege of wrapping the stream up and making sure Jeff can come get his stuff later in the day. Good win tonight, 11-1, a hit parade, and that's what you want to see, and good pitching. Let's keep it rolling, boys. See y'all next week.